Hello and welcome to our latest video on Waltz features. These have all been introduced in the last 2 quarters and we'll be talking through some of the new features around flows, improved visualization of involvement hierarchy, changes to the Navbar, and in particular to the taxonomy editor and improved changelog views as well. One of the first things we're going to look at is the changes and enhancement to the flow view we've added. So if we navigate to one of our applications, here Australian Terrier, and we open up the data flow section, you'll see we've now added an additional tab. This used to be called physical flow details, but you'll see we've extended this tab to include a lot more information surrounding the logical flows and the physical flows, including some of the physical specification details. You still have the admin feature to register a new physical flow in the menu bar, but as we investigate the tables on the screen, you'll see we've got additional context panel help and additional actions here as well, so we can again navigate to add a physical flow or visit the logical flow page. The same is true for any of the physical flows. In addition to this, we've introduced some filters to help you navigate the list of flows you've got. So there's basic flow filters on flow direction, so consuming flows only or producing flows. We also have filters based around the flow classification, the data types attached to the logical flows, and some of the assessments. So this is one of the features we really built on recently, is adding assessment detail to a lot of the different entities in Waltz. That's now not just the logical flows, but also the physical flows and logical flow decorators. So you'll see here, if a physical flow assessment has been marked as primary, it will get added to the table as an additional column. This can be, just one assessment or multiple. And again, it will be supported for both single-valued assessments or multi-valued assessments. If we want to quickly show the filter in action, I've clicked Financial Reporting, and you'll see that the list of logical flows and physical flows has now been filtered down to just those that have been related to financial reporting. If I want to quickly clear these filters, there's either one on the assessment section, or just to clear them all in case that I've picked a few, we can go to the top and click the Clear All button. Just collapse these down and you'll see the full list has reappeared again.
Okay, now we're going to take a quick look at some of the changes to the changelog. This is best illustrated by an example, so we're going to take a flow and delete it. So let's just take a logical flow using the stuff that Jess was showing earlier. From here we can navigate to the flow either by using the action section or just jump straight in here. I'm going to remove this flow. So we remove the flow, it should come up and say that it's inactive, and we can see that the flow has been removed here. You may also note here there's this new column. This is when the changelog refers to a specific entity, we put a reference to the entity in. So since this was about changing the flow, we can say, okay, this is the flow that was removed. And of course, Waltz is recording these changelog entries against different entities, so the actual applications involved in that flow will both see that entry. So we go to Butterfly, who is the source of that flow, and look at its changelog. We can see that that flow was removed by me a few seconds ago, and I can jump to it. And now I see that inactive flow, so this allows you to quickly navigate to things that otherwise would be very tricky to find. And we have a new restore button. This will just simply restore the flow back to the state it was when it got deleted. So any associated data types or physical flows will also be restored at the same time. And you can see here as well that the message in the changelog is just telling us that I have restored that flow.
Another small but fun feature we've added is we've reorganized the top navigation bar. To those who have got keen eyes, you'll have noticed that this has gone from other viewpoints, which used to direct you to a page dedicated to a tab set of the different categories, to now a drop down. And we've also added independent icons per category you might have. And it also remembers the last one you looked at. So if we go to region and I were to refresh the page, it will remember that region was the last I viewed. What you'll also notice is if we navigate to an application and open up the ratings and roadmap section, it remembers the last of the drop downs categories I selected. So in this case, it's already open process for us rather than function, which is the first in the list. So one of the other small features we've added recently is the ability to better view hierarchies when it comes to involvements. So in particular, this applies to change programs. So as you'll see here, we're on change compliance reporting, and quite often people wanted to be able to view any of the children of this specific particular program and the involvements that it would inherit downwards, but also those that it inherits from above. So if we open up the people section, you'll see here now there's quite a large number of people attached to this program. And as you'll just notice in the first column, there's now a new icon, and this indicates whether it's been inherited, rolled up, rolled down, and explicitly linked to this entity in the case of the equal sign. Again, if we open up the filter section, which you'll see popping up all over Waltz, there's a couple of filters here. So at the moment, we're only showing active people. If we want to show anyone who's removed, we can toggle that too. And we can also, again, filter this list quite quickly by just toggling to show direct involvements. You'll see that the list shrinks to a more expected level. We also include this as part of the export. So if I show you here, the export, and open this one up, you'll see in our test data here, there's an additional column right at the end with a direction which shows whether it's coming from an ancestor, a descendant, or exactly mapped to this change program.
The final set of features we wanted to cover is around the taxonomies themselves, the viewpoints. We've now got a simple way to export them as a flattened view. Before you used to get like a parent-child view. Now you can say, please give me the file as a flattened taxonomy, so it's showing you the level 1, level 2 names, and that will work for arbitrary depth. The other improved feature is around the maintenance of these hierarchies, of these taxonomies within Waltz itself. Quite often we load them from a file, they come from external sources, but sometimes they are maintained within Waltz, and these screens allow you to do that. We've added a couple of new functions, so when you choose one of these, you can say things like, I want to merge it with another one, which would say basically I want to take these two functions and combine, or take these two taxonomies and items and combine them, and it will do all the data migration in the background. We can rename, and we can also reorder them. So if you reorder the siblings, you can go away from the default alphabetical sort. When changes are made, we record them in the changelog, and that's shown. So if we say we wanted to change balance services to balance services and other things, submit that. We go in here as before and just apply the change. It gives you a little preview of what's going to happen. It's saying, okay, 10 apps are going to be impacted by that change. Do that, see it gets updated immediately there. We've got to now look at the function. And we look at this bottom bit, we'll see here, we can see there's some the taxonomy changelog. So we see exactly who changed it and when and what they changed. They're changing up the name update, what the value was before, and what the value was afterwards. Okay, that covers everything we wanted to show in this video. Look forward to adding more features in the new year. Thank you very much.